Okay, I would like to welcome you all to New Consultant Orientation. My name is Angela Williams. I'm the leader of the Lifestyle Changers team. And, before I even get started, I want to welcome all of the new associates who've decided to say yes and partner with us. And I pray that at the end of this presentation, you will be excited about your business. You will see the growth potential that is available in your business, and you can see MyEcon as a vehicle that you can use to pretty much escape the rat race. But before you really dive into a business as a brand new entrepreneur, you have to have vision. So you have to have an idea of what you want MyEcon to do for you from a income perspective, as well as the long-term picture of what you need your MyEcon business to do. So I want you to come up with a number in your mind of how much money you want to have coming in your MyEcon business in the next year, and write that number down on a piece of paper. And I want you to plant that piece of paper in a location that you can see it often, so that every time you get to a point where you feel like you want to give up, you're going to look at that piece of paper, because that dollar amount should be attached to a big old Y. For some people, it's because you know that you are really behind in your retirement account, and you need to play catch up. And so it's critical for you to be aggressive with your investing, but you need more money to be able to do that. So in your case, you cannot quit MyEcon, because what else are you going to have going on? For some of you, it could be, I want to be able to send my children to college, but I don't want them to have student loans. So you want to make sure that you're saving enough money for that to happen. And I know it's some people on this webinar who are like myself, who have just made the decision that you're never going to work for somebody else. You want to be the boss. You want to be an entrepreneur. You want to be able to work from home. That may be your desire. And so for me, there is no quit. There is no plan B. I'm all in. And so whatever it is, again, I want you to write it down. I want you to put it in a place that you can see it. And then I want you to do a vision board. I want you to go and find pictures that reflect the future lifestyle that you want, not where you are right now, because you don't want to be reminded where you are right now. You want to think about where you're going. So you want to find pictures that reflect what your life is going to look like when you hit that number. So what is your house going to look like? What is the car you're going to be driving? How much money you're going to be having in your bank account? Where are you going to travel? What type of charity would you like to do? Or what type of projects or nonprofits or businesses you would like to launch if you actually hit your goals? So you want to make sure that you have a vision board in place. For myself, I like to, every morning I wake up, I pray, I meditate, and I constantly feed my mind with positive affirmations. I'm reading self-development books. I'm reading business books. I'm reading books about investing and things like that. I'm constantly feeding my mind, because if not, somebody else is going to rent space between my ears. Okay, so I have to be in control of that. As a business owner, you also have to be able to control your emotions. So you have to understand that everybody that you talk to about this business may not be interested in what you have going on, and they may not be ready to change their own life. So you have to be able to go through the ups and downs, but still keep your vision in front of you, so you don't quit, because it's easy to quit. And so everybody that's on this webinar right now, commit to me tonight that you're going to be here a year from now. See, when I got into this MyEcon business, I said to myself, I'm going to be here a year from now, and I'm going to make this business work. And now I can't see myself not being in MyEcon. I'm going to be here the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Okay, I will be retiring from my MyEcon business. So just commit to me that you're going to be here a year from now, because there's no such thing as having a business that's up and running, successful, profitable in 30, 60, 90 days. For some people that could be true, but for majority of people, that's not what it is, especially if you don't already have an audience or a market that you can start promoting your business to. So you have to build it up. So you have to go through the process. So what I want to do right now is I want to go through some training, and I'm kind of going to break this training up. So the first part of the training, I'm going to talk about, the back office. So many of you know where things is. And I'm also going to then get into kind of like personal finance. And then I want to wrap it up with some business building. So I'm gonna try not to go too long, but I want to make sure that at the end of this webinar, you are crystal clear on what you have, and you can always appreciate this business. Okay. I had some people said they was committed. All right. So when you log into your MyEcon back office, this is pretty much what it looks like. You have a business management center. So the first place that you want to go once you log into your back office is you want to go under My Account. And when you go over at My Account, some areas that you want to pay attention to, if you ever want to change your address or your phone number that is connected to your account, you can do that. If you want to add a spouse name to your agreement where you both can be in the business without them joining or opening up a separate account, you guys basically can be on the same joint account, then you can list your spouse's name right under the profile. Also under my website, here is where if you would like to change your password, or if you would like to upload a photo so that it shows on your MyEcon website, make sure you do that. I always recommend that. You always want to have a personalized touch. Also under commissions, what you want to do is you can fill out form W-9, especially for the new people who just came into the business. You want to fill out a W-9 form, and that's basically just saying that you can have a home-based business, you are, a U.S. citizen, or you have some type of work permit to be in the United States so that you do qualify for a business. You also want to set up your direct deposit. And so the direct deposit is directly to your bank account. All you need is you could take a picture of a check and write void across, take a picture with your phone and upload it online, or you can go to your bank account, your bank, and ask them for a direct deposit slip. And what they're going to do is they're going to print out your name, they're going to print out your bank account routing number, bank account number, and then you can take a picture of that and you can upload it into your back office if you don't have access to any checks, okay? Now, if you do not set up your direct deposit and you start selling products, or you start building a team and you start earning commissions, your commissions will be in a holding account until you set up your direct deposit. So you never lose out on any money because your direct deposit is not set up, but once it is set up, those funds will be transferred into your account. Also under business, if you do not have an idea who your sponsor is, you can actually click that link. It'll tell you who your sponsor is. If you need to change the date of your renewal payment for your $34.95 a month membership, you can click that link and you can do it there. Or if you need to update your credit card because maybe your credit card has expired, you'll do that there. If at any time you want to cancel your account, you just click the cancellation button and it's done. We have a coupon center. And the coupon center is if you wanted to bless somebody in getting a business started and you wanted to offer a discount. So the enrollment price right now is $47.90. And so let's say maybe you wanted to bless somebody and you bought a $19 or $20 coupon, or you bought a $5 coupon. You can give that coupon code to your potential prospect. They can put that code in when they're filling out the agreement and they'll get a discount on their startup costs. Some other areas that I want you to pay attention to in your back office is under the going back to the BMC link, back to your business management center. So some places that I want you to take a look at is under store. When you go to the store, what you're going to be able to do is under the sales aids, you're going to be able to purchase any type of brochures about some of our main products. So there's an American finance brochure if you want to introduce people to the concept of MyEcon and personal finance education. We have the ID Defender. We have the Daily Ultimate brochure if you're interested in promoting our anti-aging liquid vitamin. We have the Roadside Assistance brochure. Also, there were some people, like if you did not order a training manual when you signed up to the business, but you actually want a physical training manual with a binder, you actually can order it here under the store as well. There's a brochure for the tax advantages, all of the tax advantages of having a home-based business. There's a CD there that is available to you as well. Also in your store is you can click the business cards area and you can order business cards directly from your store. Going back to the BMC site, I also want you to, where do I want you to go? Under your income shifting membership. When you click on the income shifting membership, these are some of the additional services that may be available to you as you that's part of your $34.95 membership. So you have the Smart Money Kit, Cash Flow Manager, debt elimination tool. What I want to do is I want to go to the Cashback Mall first. And the Cashback Mall is basically a free mall to you now with the new $47.90 memberships. The Cashback Mall is going to be back being free, and you can actually give these malls out for free to your family and friends. But the reason why I want to mention the Cashback Mall is because in MyEcon, again, it's all about you saving money. And so many of the department stores that you may shop at right now may be already linked in your Cashback Mall. So if you shop at Avenue, Best Buy, Foot Locker, Old Navy, Office Depot, Walgreens, GNC, if you go to the movies, we have Fandango back here. I buy my movie tickets from Fandango. If you shop at Macy's, if you do any traveling, like when I do traveling, I do like to book my hotels through hotels.com, because every store that is put into your Cashback Mall, you can earn cash back every time you spend money. So it's smart. If you're going to spend money, you can make money. And then at the same time, many of these stores have online discounts that you can take advantage of. And so the reason why I use hotels.com for my hotel travel is because after so many hotels, you actually get a free hotel. So it just makes sense. If you wanted to go to Vistaprint and you wanted to create your own business cards, you can click on Vistaprint in your back office so that you can get Vistaprint deals, but you can also get 2% cash back. And as you start to accumulate cash back, you're going to get a check in the mail with your money. So one place that I love to go to is the restaurant that is in your Cashback Mall. And so what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to do a search, let's say by your zip code. So depending on where you may live, you could put your zip code in. And when you click the Shop Now button, it's going to list all of the participating restaurants in your area where you can actually buy these discounted eating certificates so that you can actually eat at a discount. I'm just waiting for the computer to load here. Like I said, here's with my internet. So let's say I was just to scroll down to any restaurant. You see it here, okay? So let's say I went to Le Fay Cafe, all right? Well, Le Fay Cafe is basically telling me that I can get a $10 eating certificate for $4. So already I have a discount. Already got a discount. $15 certificate for $6. You can get a $25 certificate for $10. And so that way, if you're going to be eating at these locations anyway, it makes sense to save money. We got Fat Man's Pizza, their sports bar. You can get a $5 certificate for $2, $10 certificate for $4. And what you can do is you can go and you can buy these certificates in advance, up front. You can buy as many as you want. I do know that they have different discounts that's happening all the time, especially around the holidays is one of the best time to actually load up on these certificates. Now, let's say another place that I want to mention very quickly is a travel portal that is actually in your cashback mall as well. And if you somebody that's interested in doing some travel, maybe you want to do a weekend getaway, this is one of the best portals to actually go and do a search on, because they always have some amazing deals. I am waiting for this to load. But what you can do, you can book your air flight from this portal. You can book your hotels. What I love about this is I actually am interested in your cruises. They have some amazing pricing points for if you want to get away and just have a weekend cruise with your girlfriends or your husband or your significant other. But when you go through, I'm going to say that I am looking for some cruises. Here goes some that's already picking up for me. So let's say, for example, I wanted to do 4 nights round trip. I wanted to go to the Bahamas. Well, guess what? You see it right there. It's $219. That's the lowest price. 5-night Caribbean cruise, $264. But let's say I want to leave out of Miami. I love to go to cruises in Miami because that's just what I like to do. Because what I like to do is I like to party in Miami and then get on a cruise ship and then go for the weekend, come back, and then party some more in Miami. So here you go. You get a 3-night Bahama cruise, leave it out of Miami, round trip, $159. And they give you the different prices for if you want to upgrade your rooms. What I do know about cruises is you spend more time out your room than in your room. So unless you want to spend the money, let's say you want a suite, you want to be able to have a window in your room, you want to see the water and all that while you're sleeping, then yeah, you can pay $539. But if you like everybody else who know you're going to spend so much time outside that room, go ahead and get it for $159. You cannot beat that. 4-night Caribbean cruise for $189. And they have a number of different cruise ships. So you might want to do Carnival. You might want to do Royal Caribbean. They even have Disney cruise just for your children. There's different locations that you can actually travel to. So you can go to Mexico. You can go to Bahamas. There's even Cuba. There's an Alaska trip. There's even a African. If you want to go to Africa, there's actually a cruise. I think it's like maybe 15 days or something like that, but it's really a getaway. And if you're going to do it, you might as well do it at a discount. So just make sure that you take advantage of the different discounts that is available to you in your cashback mall. Now, what else do I want to go to? Now I want to go back. Trying to see, can I get back into my econ? Here we go. Back to the my econ back office. So the next thing that I want to talk about is, now that you're in my econ, you need to be taking advantage of the business write-offs that are available to you. And so what is important is that you have downloaded the Cash Flow Manager app and the my econ app to your phone. And so what I'm going to do right now is I am going to give you access. I want to pull up the Cash Flow Manager actually from my phone. So here we go. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to show you what it looks like on your phone with the Cash Flow Manager. So what you're going to do is, here's the MyEcon app and here's the Cash Flow Manager app. So we're going to go into the Cash Flow Manager app. When you go into the Cash Flow Manager app, you're going to see Cash Flow Manager. You're going to see the Cash Flow Strategist, which is your retirement planner. You got some financial tools, which is some additional financial calculators that's already created. When you click on the Cash Flow Manager, you can create a new Cash Flow Manager. You're just going to name it. Once you name it, this is what your dashboard looks like. So anytime that you get paid a commission from MyEcon, you're going to enter it under new income. Anytime that you have spent money, you are going to enter it, and you know you can write it off as a business expense. You're going to log it under enter new expense. So when I click enter new expense, this is what the entry log looks like. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on the select expense type. When you click on the and you look down, all the categories is going to pull up right here. And so, for example, if you got business cards, you bought some brochures, you bought a banner, you're going to put that under advertising. We have a Cash Flow Manager monthly fee. So your $34.95, every time you pay that, you're going to log that into the system. Now, you may spend money where you actually get a receipt. You could take a picture. If you have an expense that is like pulled off your debit card or your bank account, well, if you get some type of email confirmation, just take a picture of the email confirmation and then use that as your receipt. For communications, this is where you're going to list your cell phone payment as well as your internet access payment. So even if your internet access is in your cable bill, you can take a picture of the full cable bill, but only log the portion of the cable bill that is associated with your internet. If you are in any other organization or you're a part of any masterminds or investing clubs where you have monthly dues and subscriptions, you can log that there. I created this category because you can actually add expense types to this system. So I put education self-development because I buy a lot of Amazon books. So I'm going to write that off. Under home office equipment and furniture, if you decide to buy you a computer, if you decide to buy an office desk, an office shelf, anything like that, you can write that off. For rent, your rent payments or your mortgage payments, you're going to put that under the home office rent. You're going to put your utility bills that you pay under the home office utilities. And the reason why we're capturing these expenses is you may qualify for the home office deduction. So we want to make sure that we have your total expenses in here so that at the end of the year, when they are calculating your actual percentage and write-offs, they're working off of a full total. If you have a credit card and you decide that credit card is going to be used specifically for MyEcon or your business or your advertising, you can actually write off the interest in your minimum payment. You can write it off as a business expense. So this is where you're going to log it. I added another category called internet marketing advertising. And this is for people who maybe want to do paid Facebook ads. You want to buy maybe solo ads. You want to buy traffic. You want to buy leads. Or you maybe want to run some Instagram ads. Then you want to definitely put that in there because any expenses that you incur in trying to build your business is a write-off. Of course, if you have any legal attorney fees, you can put that under legal and professionals. Every time that you eat, you want to take a picture of the receipt and you want to log this into your system so that you can write off your meals. So if you go to Starbucks and you get a coffee, get a receipt. You go to McDonald's, you go to Red Lobster, you go wherever you go, Chick-fil-A, you want to make sure that you get that receipt and you want to log it into your system. If you are in an area where there are local meetings that is happening and there is a fee, it could be $5, $10, $20 every week, then you want to make sure that you log that fee into the system. If you ship anything out for somebody, then of course the postage is deductible. If you do any type of printing for getting, make your own flyers and get them printed out, you want to write that off as well. Product samples. We don't really carry inventory in MyEcon, but let's say you want to promote the weight loss coffee. Since the weight loss coffee comes in individual packets, maybe you want to sell a trial pack, or you want to do 5 for $10 or 5 for $10. You can actually write off the cost of you sampling your products. There are some associates who have office space or separate locations outside of their home. You can log that office space rent in this area. If you buy any office supplies, you can write that off. I added team training prizes because sometimes I do promotions and prizes. And as you become a leader and build a team, you may do it as well. And I added that category. The gas that you put in your car, you need to keep all the receipts and log the gas as well as the oil changes into your transportation. Your insurance on your car, you want to log that into the system. The miles that you drive on your car, you want to be able to log them as well. Your car note, I want you to put that under transportation, other. If you pay any parking fees, if you pay any tolls, you want to actually log that into the system as well. If you do any repairs on your cars, if you buy any tires, again, you want to log those expenses. Because what happens is at the end of the year, you have a choice. You can write off the miles that you drive on your car that is tied to your business, and we teach you how to tie your miles to your business. And you can also, or you can decide to write off the total expenses associated with your car. So at the end of the year, the tax preparer is going to calculate both options, and whichever option gives you the highest write-off, that is the option you're going to pick. Any travel that you do, you need to, if you buy an airline ticket, you want to make sure that you keep the receipt, book it in there. Your hotel, all the meals that you have while you are traveling, you want to make sure that you log it as well. If you pay for any parking, if you take an Uber, a bus, a train while you're traveling, you're going to write that off. And for the IRS, traveling is anytime you are away from your home overnight. So you don't have to necessarily be going to a different state. It could be you get a hotel downtown and you're going to stay overnight. Well, guess what? That's considered travel, so you get to write that off. If you decide to rent your rental car, you can write that off. When you're on vacation and you are paying people for meals, and if you leave a tip, you also can log that tip expense into your register. You can write that off at the end of the year. And then finally, wages. Wages is for those people who have children, let's say over the age of, I believe it's 6. I don't know why I'm drawing a fog here, but let's say you have a child that's over the age of 6. You can actually hire them into your MyEcon business, and you can give them things to do. You know, your kids can be the ones that's actually entering your receipts into the cash flow manager, or they can be putting your miles in for you. They could be putting samples together for you. You can even have your children posting on social media for you. So when we say hire your children, we want you to put your kids to work, you know. And what you can do is you can pay your children. And so in order for this to happen, what you have to do is, number one, you need to establish, you know, a little contract. You can write it up in Word. You can write it out, type it out. That's just basically saying that you're hiring your child. And then you want to set some business hours for your child. For most kids, it's on the weekends. And then you want to go to the bank and you want to open up a custodial account for your child with your name on the account. And then what you are going to do is you're going to pay your child. And when you pay your child, you're going to write them a check, or you're going to get a certified check or a money order in their name. You're going to go and deposit it into their account. And then once you deposit it into their account, you can withdraw that money and use that money to actually pay for their expenses or to pay your bills. So, you know, we have, you know, some people who may be paying their car notes as wages to their children so that they can get the tax write-off at the end of the year, because you can write off up to $12,000 per child. And so this is something that you want to sit down, you want to calculate how much can you pay out of each paycheck. So when you pay a paycheck, you might write them a check for $600, and then once it's deposited, you're going to go and withdraw that $600 and you're going to pay your bills. But what it's going to do is it's going to create a paper trail that you can use so that you can write it off at the end of the year. So again, that's $12,000 per child. So if you got 2 kids, you can write off to $24,000 just in the wages expenses alone. So that's why I just don't understand why people don't have a business tied to their income, because you're paying this stuff anyway. You're paying a car note, you're paying a cell phone bill, you going on vacation anywhere, you're eating anyway. So if you got a business, why not get some of your money back by having a business tied to your income so you can take advantage of the tax write-off? So I can never understand why people don't do it, but they don't. Okay. Another thing is I talked about tracking your miles. Now they do have a GPS tracking system, but I'm noticing that it really doesn't work that well. So what I tend to do is log my miles manually. And so you can use Google Maps. You know where you drive. You can put your location in. It'll tell you how many miles you drove, and you log it into the system. So they have right here, it's called the log mile, and it's like your mileage book. And you can actually track the miles for up to 3 cars. And you can have up to 3 cars, miles actually written off on your taxes. And so what I tend to do is I track my miles. Some people track their miles every day, some weekly, some monthly. You do what's best for you. But let's say I drove 120 miles for the whole week. I might put 120 business miles. My who is always Angela. My what is I did my marketing. Because in my econ, your title is marketing director. So when you leave your house, everything you do is about marketing. My where is I could have drove to between Lake County and Cook County. All right. And so all I got to do is click the save entry and my miles is saved. And so it asks you to confirm your entry. Go ahead and confirm your entry. And now your miles are actually into the system. So let's say I want to pay my cell phone bill. So I'm going to click enter new expense. I'm going to go to the expense type and I am going to pick communications. And then I'm going to enter the amount of my cell phone bill, which is $120. My who is I pay Sprint. My what is my business phone. Again, everything you do is business. My where is where I actually paid it or what location. So in my case, I paid my bill online. Now, what you can do is you can assign a receipt to this entry. So if I had a receipt and I can click camera and I can take a picture of my receipt, or if I've already taken pictures of my receipts and I have them in my phone picture library, you can just click library and the picture and the receipt will be attached to this entry. Now, if my cell phone bill is the same every single month, so that I don't have to continue to put the same expense in over and over, at the bottom you will see something that says reoccurrence. So I am going to click on a drop down and I'm going to select monthly. That means that this is going to repeat every month, and then I tell the system when the next entry is going to be. So I'm going to say October is going to be the same entry, and I'm going to save it. And what's going to happen is when October 26th hit and I log into my cash flow manager, they're going to give me a notice that says, hey, did this reoccurring entry happen? And you just click yes, and they automatically populate it, so you don't have to type all this in again. Okay, and now my transaction is in my cash flow manager. So this is something that you want to do. What I do is I enter my expenses every Sunday, my miles, my expenses. I log in every Sunday and do it, because if you don't and you collect a whole lot of receipts, you're going to find yourself at the end of the year having nothing in your cash flow manager. And guess what? If it ain't in your cash flow manager, you can't write it off. And so it only takes about 1 minute to enter a receipt into your cash flow manager. So do not let laziness cost you money. Just go ahead and do it, or make your children do it for you. Now, I'm going to go back to my inbox. Uh-oh. Let me go here. Not my inbox. I'm going to go back to my back office. Come on, internet, work with me. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is, just like I just showed you how to oh, this is moving kind of slow here. Okay. Ooh. Okay, it's moving kind of slow. I'm sorry. So just how I use my phone to go through the cash flow manager. Again, you can go through the cash flow manager from your computer. And the reason why I'm going to log in this, because I definitely want to make you see what it looks like at the end of the year. So once you put different receipts into your cash flow manager, you see right here where there are different notifications right here. When you log in, I logged in from my computer, it's telling me, hey, you got all these different entries to Sprint. Did it happen? You can click confirm and it'll automatically populate for you. But what I want to do is I want to look at view expenses. So at the end of the year, what you want to do is you want to be able to run a report for the entire year. Okay, so when you run a report for the entire year, when you're getting ready to file your taxes, you're going to run a report, and this is what your report is going to look like. Here's an example of what your report looks like. So once you run this report, you want to click categorize, because you want to give your tax preparer your expense log broken down by category, because it's going to make it easier for them to actually fill out your Schedule C that's going to be attached to your tax return 1040. Or if you decide that you want to do your taxes yourself through TurboTax or Free Tax USA, you can, this will be easy for you to do. So as you can see, under advertising, it says total of 122. And again, this is a mock account that I use for training purposes. Cash flow manager fee, $1,000. Let's say communications was added up, $630. So that means when they go and fill out my Schedule C under the communication tabs, they're going to write $630. Under my meals and entertainment, it has $344. Now I've seen people with $1,000, $3,000, $4,000. I think the highest I saw was $5,000 in a year just based on meals. But as you can see, here are the receipts. The receipts are attached to every meal. And see, this is why the cash flow manager is so important, because it allows you to do accurate record keeping, because that's what you need to do when you are a business owner. And this is how you're IRS compliant, because you can validate every entry that you put in because you have a receipt to back it up. Most people who've been in businesses, I know tons of people that's in different home-based businesses, they're not getting any of their tax write-offs at the end of the year because they ain't tracking no expenses. Ain't nobody teaching them how to track no expenses. And so that's the power of being in my econ, because again, it is an education business. Now I want to go to the BMC. I'm gonna go back to the BMC, because another place that I want you to pay attention to is the Smart Money Kit. And again, my internet is running slow, and it's only because everybody is on this live, so my internet won't be slow today. I don't know why. Okay, come on. Okay. I might have to log in again in my big back office to try to make this happen a little bit faster. Okay, come on back to my BMC. All right, so again, under your income shifting membership, If you are interested in fixing your own credit, you want to go to the Smart Money Credit Repair System. When you go to the Smart Money Credit Repair System, what you're going to do is you're going to scroll all the way down, and you're going to pick the 750 credit system. This might be my econ that is running really slow right now and not the internet. So I'm going to click on the 750 credit plan right here. And this is actually something that you can sell on its own. If there's people who want to know how to fix their own credit, they can buy the Smart Money Kit from you for $99, and you can earn a $50 commission, and they're basically going to get access just to this. So what you want to do is you want to go through the modules, because every module has a video that you are going to watch. So start with step 1, module 1, and go all the way down. And what I do recommend, I recommend that you watch all of the videos and then go back and do all the steps that is listed in the modules, because when you go through the modules, you are going to see the link where you can order your 3 credit reports from the 3 credit bureaus directly from your Smart Money Kit. Back office, again, you're going to be able to watch the videos. Each module have training videos in there. You're also going to see the dispute letters. So all you have to do is download the different dispute letters. So again, you're going to go through, you're going to watch all of the videos, and then you're going to get to work, okay? So as you notice, when you pull up these dispute letters, they're in a PDF form, and they're also in a Google Docs form or Word form. Every letter has instructions on what you need to do. Anytime you send a letter out, it needs to be sent out certified mail. You also want to include some identification so that they can prove that it is you that is disputing the items. And let me show you just how easy it is. The letters are already pre-written for you. So all you have to do is copy and paste this into a Word document, WordPad document, and the only area that you're changing is the area that is in a different color. So what you see in red, you're going to replace with your information. So this is just your contact information, and then you're going to enter the credit bureau address. You're going to scroll down. As you can see, everything in black you're not going to touch, because these are the law, the codes of the law for the Fair Credit Reporting Act. It is already written into the letters. And so the only thing that you need to do is right here where you see red. You are going to put your creditor name, whether it's a creditor, whether it's collections, whatever it is, you're going to put the name of the account and the account number. That's it. It's already telling you what you're doing. You're saying that it is a unverified account. And basically what that's saying is that the credit bureaus are going to have to go and basically prove to you that that's your debt. Basically, that's your debt, that it was reported correctly, and they have to prove that to you. And so there's different rounds of reports based on, this would be the first letter you send out. If you get something back where they say, oh, this is a verified account, there's another letter that you can send out where you can make them actually show you actual signature of your original contract where you actually got into that debt where you signed for. So if they can't provide that, in some cases, they'll have to remove it off your credit file. So I just wanted to show you just how simple that is. That's all you got to do. And these are the same letters that the credit repair companies are using. They're all the same. And the fact that people are paying $80, $100, $150 for something that really only takes about 10 minutes to do, and then you mail it out and you wait 30 days. I mean, ignorance is expensive and laziness is expensive. So now that you know that you have access to these items, you have a skill level that actually can pay you. Because as you go through this process and you start working on your credit, then guess what? You can put yourself in a situation where people are paying you to actually fix their credit. Okay, the next thing that I want to share with you is I want to go directly to the team website. If you guys do not see the Lifestyle Changers University website on your desktop right now, just send me an instant message. That way I'll know that it hasn't been shared. But this is our team website. So everybody who come into my econ, you are going to put them in the Lifestyle Changers Facebook group. Because a lot of training notices, when I'm doing webinars and things like that, it is going to be posted in that group. So if you want to stay connected and plugged in, make sure all your new team members is in the Lifestyle Changers group. And then you want to make sure that you tag them to the Lifestyle Changers University. And this is really your training portal in addition to your MyEcon back office. So what I'm going to do is, when you go through the training portal, some areas that you need to know about is if you want to hear past corporate training by June Collier, the link to his history of replays is here. We do have prospecting websites. We do have already pre-recorded sizzle calls if you want somebody to be able to listen to the opportunity over the phone. We have the Lifestyle Changers Cash Flow Club. It is a Facebook group that is nothing but testimonials. So anytime that you're introducing a business opportunity to somebody, guess what? Documentation beats conversation any day. So you go through that Facebook group, you pull some cash flow testimonies, some stock investing testimonies, some car payoff testimonies, some credit card payoff, debt payoffs, and use that to show people that there are real people that are getting real results. Also, for those who are interested in building their business online, the link to the MyEcon takeover group, which is full of internet marketers, you can have access to their training center as well. When you go to the new consultant section, come on. Okay, when you go to the new consultant section, start with step 1. You can download the new consultant checklist. It is going to be displayed right here. And also, you're going to start with step number 2, which is complete strategy number 1. So I have the W4 training video right here. You can also download the current 2018 W4 form. Also, I have created a W4 supplement sheet. And basically, most people know how to fill out the top part of the W4 because it just basically asking you how many kids you have, and that'll calculate how many allowances that you have. But for some people, they may want to go to the second part of the W4 where they ask you more about your itemized deductions, what type of expenses you're going to have. Well, guess what? I have a worksheet. And when you open up this worksheet is actually going to take you through the step of filling out the second section of this W4. And I'm going to try to pull this up really quick. Okay, this is what it looks like. So the bottom part of the W4 is going to ask people, like part 1, it says, if you have a mortgage, you're going to enter the interest that you paid last year on your 1040 return. You'll put that in that first line. Then if they're married, they had a household, single, you put that amount in the second line. Then it's going to tell you to subtract line 2 from line 1. And then I tell you if line 2 is larger than line 1, just enter 0. Right here, actually this worksheet, for some reason it's pulling the wrong worksheet. With the new expense category, we are only going to be writing off 3 things, and that is your rent, your car note, and your cell phone bill. So I'm gonna make sure that that W4 deductions worksheet is updated. But when you calculate it, it's going to give you the second half of the W4, add the number from the first part, and you're done. But none of this makes sense until you watch the actual W4 training video. So make sure you do that. For those of you who maybe you adjust your W4 and you're still having a hard time trying to figure out what your income shift is, I have included a payroll calculator that you can have access to. And it's an Excel form, but I believe you also can use it through Google Docs. Okay, so here's an example. Let's say you make, I don't know, let's say you make $2,400 in your paychecks. You know, that's your gross pay. You're paid bi-weekly, so you make it $62,000 a year. And let's say that you are head of household, so you're going to change your filing status. Oh no, it's only married or single when you're doing the allowances. So let's say you're single. And let's say you have 2 children. So on your, before you join My Econ, maybe you were claiming 2 allowances. All right. If you have any money coming out of your paycheck that's going to your 401k, let's say you're doing 3%, you can put that there. If you don't have anything going to your 401k, well then guess what? You're going to put 0. Let's say they take in money out for some health insurance premiums. Maybe that's $50 or maybe it's $25, but you're going to put that amount here. I'm just using this as an example. If you know the state taxes that came out your paycheck, or you know your state rate, you could put that there, or you could leave it blank. Once it's calculated, it's going to tell you what your net take-home pay is. Your net take-home pay should match your paycheck stub. Okay? Your net take-home pay should match your paycheck stub. Now, what you're going to see is right here. Let me put it here. Federal tax. This federal tax line, that's how much you're going to pay in federal taxes. That's how much is going to come out of your paycheck if you, let's say you're claiming 2 allowances. So before you join My Econ, you were claiming 2 allowances. So basically what you're doing is you're going to an old paycheck before you join My Econ. You're going to enter the information from your paycheck into this calculator, and it's going to tell you what your net pay. It should all match. Oh, there is no paycheck, honey. Can y'all can't see the form? Let me see here. Wait a minute. Doo-doo. All right. Oh, I didn't know they opened up another window. Okay. Can y'all see the form now? All right. So let's see. Okay, so again, let's try this here. At the top of the form, you're going to enter the gross pay. So again, you pull in a paycheck, a last paycheck before you got into My Econ. You're going to put your gross pay here. You're going to say, I get paid bi-weekly, or if you get paid every week, or if you get paid every month. Then you're going to say whether or not you're single or you married. That's all in the drop-down boxes. So you're either single or you married. And then you're going to put how many allowances you were claiming before you got into My Econ. Here are some adjustments that may be on your paycheck. So if you are putting money towards your 401k, put that there. If you're paying health premiums, put it there. When you get done for the deductions and things that's taken out your paycheck, your net take-home pay right here should match your actual pay stub after you put the information in. And basically, it calculates what your Social Security would be, what Medicare would be, and it also says what amount of federal taxes they took out that paycheck. So if you, before you joined My Econ, you were claiming 2 allowances, they were taking $259 out of your paycheck. But let's say after you adjusted your W-4, you qualify, instead of 2 allowances, maybe you qualify for 11 allowances. Okay, so they taking $259 out for federal. So I'm going to go right here and I'm going to type in 11. Okay, now they're only taking out $46 in federal taxes. So what you're going to do is take the difference from that $259. You're going to take the $259 and you're going to subtract the $46.92. And the difference, that is your income shift. That is your income shift. Okay? And that's how you can decide how much money you got after you adjust your W-4, and then you're going to open up a separate bank account, and every time you get paid, you're going to transfer that money into your bank account. That way you can direct that money. You're going to be able to direct that money instead of being able to, you know, blow the money. Because if you take your income shift money and you put it in your checking account, when you pay all your bills, you're going to find yourself spending that money. That money's going to go to other things outside of you paying your bills, paying down debt, or you not paying bills, paying down debt, or paying down or building your savings and investment accounts. So when you adjust your W-4, that income shift money should only be used to pay down debt, meaning car notes, student loans, credit card bills, payday loans, mortgages. The other place, the second place that money can be used for is to build your emergency savings account to at least $1,000. That's the first goal. The third thing your money could be used for is for you to use it to build your retirement or investment account. So you can take that extra income shift money and you can increase the amount you are contributing to your 401k so that you can max it out. Or you can take that money and you can open up a investment account outside of a 401k or a Roth or IRA. And I have other videos that show you how to do all of that, and start to build your investment account. And can you income shift if you are 100% independent contractor? No, because most independent contractors, you are they don't take taxes out your check. So the only way you can income shift is if they're taking federal taxes out of your paycheck. If they're not taking federal taxes out your paycheck, then you cannot income shift. Okay, so this is the calculator that you can use so you can know exactly how much you are income shifting. Okay. And Q, yes, I do have a W-4 form. The W-4 form is in the Lifestyle Changers training group, and you can actually download that W-4 form and get it printed out. And of course you can get W-4 forms from the IRS. You can also get them from HR, but they're right here, so you can download it, print it out. You don't even have to wait for HR. Okay. The difference in your federal account, again, when you look at if you looked at a previous paycheck and they were taking $300 in federal taxes out of that paycheck, and you income shift, and you look at your federal dollars after you income shift, and it says 0, that means you got $300. If it was $300 and then you income shift and it says $100, that means you income shift $200. So the difference between the federal taxes that was taken out before you income shift and the federal taxes that's coming out after you income shift, that's the difference. That is the difference. And so now, if you're somebody who you had overtime, so your paychecks are not the same, well, what you're going to do is you don't want to be comparing apples to oranges. So whatever your previous check you had, let's say the previous check you had 40 hours. You're going to write down the federal amount that came out of that paycheck. Let's say the second check that you got after you income shift was 48 hours. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to put the gross total as if you only worked 40. So instead of 48, 40. And you're going to put them calculations in, and then it is going to still tell you the difference. Now, for as you scroll down, there is a video that shows you how to set up your direct deposit for your bank. And then if it's people who need help with their W-4s, you can always reach out to me or reach out to your upline. The training manual. The training manual is right here. And what I want you to do is every day for 20 minutes or for 30 minutes, every single day, I want you to take some time and start reading. You got to start reading, you guys. The reason why I know what I know in my econ is because I clicked on every button. I read everything. And so I created this website to make it a little bit easier for you. But one of the sections of the training manual that I want you to spend a lot of time on is the minimize taxes section. Okay. Can you all see this document right now? I don't know why I can't. All right. Okay. Now, this is the gold mine. This is your minimize taxes section. And here's what I want you to understand. When you read this, this is going to build your confidence level. Because a lot of times you'll have people that tell you what you can write off, what you can't write off. Oh, my CPA said this, my tax account said that. Well, guess what? Nothing is better than you reading for yourself. And so this minimize taxes section is amazing. And I want everybody to go through it. But what you're going to find in here is an example of a 1040. And the 1040 is your tax return at the end of the year. And I am going to do another training on what the new tax return is going to look like for 2018 once they really publish it correctly. But as you can see, when you file your taxes at the end of the year, let's say you have children, I want you to look at this wages line, which is line 7. This person made $75,000. This is the amount that is usually on your W-2s. When you get your W-2s at the end of the year, this is where your tax preparer put your W-2 information. This person made $75,000. But guess what? This person does not have a business. They don't have a business. They don't have many write-offs. So as you can see, their adjusted gross income is still $75,000. Now I want to show you what the power is of having a business tied to your income. Let's go through here. Okay, here's an example right here. All right, so this is a person's W-2. They made $75,000. Now see, normally if you don't have no write-offs to adjust your adjusted gross income, you're taxed on the $75,000. But as you can see, line 12 is where you enter business income or business loss. These are the write-offs. So in this case, this particular person wrote off $15,000 in expenses. Now look at their adjusted gross. Now look at their income. We took their income from $75,000 to $60,000. So that means you're taxed on $60,000 instead of $75,000. That's the power of having a business tied to your income. Once again, I don't know why people don't have a business. Now, because you are self-employed, you also can set up your own retirement accounts where you can open up a SIP IRA and you can contribute up to $54,000, more than most people who got IRAs can contribute to. So when I take my money from my econ commission check and I put it into my retirement account, I actually get to write that off. So if you did that, that's another $5,000 that's written off. So now we took somebody's income from $75,000 to $55,000. As you continue to scroll down, it shows you what a Schedule C looks like. The Schedule C is what your tax preparer is going to fill out at the end of the year. As you can see, it is a profit and loss statement, and it is a sole proprietorship. This is why you're paying your $34.95 every month so that you can keep your sole proprietorship status. Don't be like those people that try to think, oh, I'm just going to get an EIN number and I'm going to write everything off, but they really ain't got no business, ain't got no activity, ain't doing nothing. Trust me, they're going to make it a hobby and they're not going to get those write-offs. They also can get audited. So if they don't even have an accounting tracking system, they're going to have to pay all that money back. So we're showing you how to do it ethically and legally. And so here's an example, again, of somebody who built a MyEcon business. They actually made $5,000 in their business. So you report your income on part 1, and then you go to part 2. Part 2 is all your write-offs. Now, in some people's cases, you may not have a profit in your business. Most people don't have a profit in their business the first 2 years in business. So that's not unnormal, okay? Now, let's look at these write-offs. He wrote off his car expenses. $8,000 in car expenses. He wrote off depreciation of $1,000. I'm pretty sure that's a computer that he bought. He wrote off $2,000 in other expenses. He wrote off $2,000 in travel. He wrote off $1,000 in utility bills. And he hired his kid into the business, and he actually paid through their child's bank account $6,000. And so since he paid $6,000 through their bank account, he can write the $6,000 off as wages. That is how he got to the $15,000 in loss that adjusted his gross income. This is powerful. This is absolutely powerful, because what's happening is you're putting people in lower tax brackets, so they're paying less taxes. And so for those people who income shift, where you're getting all your tax dollars up front, you're going to use these write-offs to offset your tax liability so you don't owe at the end of the year. Now, for some people, you may not adjust your W-4. And if you don't adjust your W-4, you're just going to use these write-offs at the end of the year, and your federal refund check will be more. So you decide whether or not you want your money now up front, or do you want your money on the back end? Me personally, I would prefer my money up front, because what you will find is that they're taking a whole lot of money out of your paycheck, but your refund check does not reflect how much they're taking out. So you can always know that. So if you go back to your tax returns, it'll show how much federal taxes came out your paycheck. Now compare that to your federal refund check. And if your federal refund check is less, hey, you might want to do adjusting your W-4. I had an example of a business, she wasn't even a business partner, but I did her taxes. She made $80,000, but she didn't have no kids. She didn't have no business. She didn't have no house. So she had no write-off. So at $80,000, she was in a different tax bracket. They took $15,000 in federal taxes out of paycheck, but because she didn't have no write-offs, her refund check was only $200. Tell me if that's fair. And I told her, had you been in a business, we could have got some of your money back. So, you know, it's just about being knowledgeable. And so as you go through this, this guide, what you're going to learn is that My Econ, it tells you everything about the Schedule C's. It breaks it down. But here's what's important. They give you the IRS publications. So you need to take some time every day and read through these tax laws so that you are confident. Can't nobody tell me what I can't write off because I read it in the IRS publication. So as you go through here, the IRS tells you what you can and what you cannot do. So say, for example, when it comes to people who work a job, like people who don't work a job like myself, every time I leave, my miles, all my miles are tax deductible for business. But if you have a job, you have to learn how the IRS will treat your miles. So for example, if you leave your house and you go directly to your job, those miles is not tax deductible. But if you leave your house and you go to a temporary location like a Starbucks, McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, something like that, and then from there go to work, you can write those miles off. See, that's how you can write off some of those miles to your job because you stopped at a location. When you leave your job, if you leave your job and you go straight home, those miles are not deductible. But if you leave your job and you stop somewhere else and then go home, then you get to write those miles off. So when I leave my house, I'll stop at Starbucks. I'm going to buy a coffee. I'm going to put that coffee into my cash flow manager. That's the receipt that I actually went there. And then from there to, if I had a job or to wherever I'm going, I am going to be writing those miles off and log those miles. So the IRS tells you how to do it. You just got to follow directions. What's also in here is take a look at your car expenses that you can write off at the end of the year. They tell you you have a choice. You can write off the standard miles, or you can write off the actual expenses. So they telling you these are the expenses you can write off at the end of the year. Your depreciation, that's basically the interest that is in your car payment. So if you're paying $300 a month and $90 or $100 of that is interest, that interest gets to be written off. Licensing fees, the gas you put in your car, the oil changes, the tolls. If you are leasing a car, you get to write off 100% of the car note if you're leasing. So they do give benefits to people who lease cars versus people who buy cars. Your car insurance, the garage rent, your parking fees, your registration, your repairs, and your tires. So never let somebody tell you what you can't write off when the IRS is telling you. So once you go through this training and you start reading and you start educating yourself, people cannot tell you anything. Pension plans, how to write off your rent, how to write off your meals, how to write off your travel. All that information is in these documents. So all you need to do is read. That's all you got to do. And they're telling you, look at your travel. It tells you conduct your transportation. If you take a taxi, if you do a limousine, even if we did a party bus, we can write it off. The baggage, your car, your truck, your meals, your mileage. It's giving you all the things that you can write off. And so all you have to do is put those items into your cash flow manager and make sure that you keep your receipts. So that is something that I want you to be doing on a daily basis, or whenever you get time. Take 30 minutes a day and just start reading your training manual. There's a wealth of information that is sitting right in your training manual. You just have to open up the book. Okay, let me go back here. We're almost done here. All right. Let me reshare my link again. All right. Are you going to provide a reason for each trip? Your trips is always business. Always business. And why is that? Because we are marketing directors in MyEcon. We are the advertising marketing arms of MyEcon. So everything that we do could be tax deductible. So when you are going on vacation with your family, what are you going to do? You're going to have some business cards, you're going to have some brochures, and you're going to talk to people while you're there. So you can turn your travel into a business trip. In here, the old new consultant orientation is there. It will be replaced with this one. There is training videos on the cash flow manager as well as the cash flow strategist. There is compensation training video here, so you know how the compensation plan does work. Under step 6, you're going to see a video about all of the home-based business write-offs. I will be doing another one shortly with some of the new tax laws. There have been some adjustments, so I am going to do a new home-based business tax video, but this old video still is going to tell you many of the things that you can write off. Also, for those people who are working a job and you're trying to figure out how can I fit MyEcon into my business, I do have a time management work schedule that you can download. You're going to fill in the blanks of when you at work, when you may be going to the gym, all those things, when you go to church, wherever you have empty space, that's where MyEcon fits in. And then what I do want to do is go over quickly the compensation plan so that you do understand. I do have a quick view compensation that I did put together that I do want you to see before we end up wrapping it up. With the internet running so slow, this is actually going slower than I thought. Okay. All right, so let's go through this compensation plan really, really quickly. Oh, come on already. All right, now let's talk about the ranks in MyEcon. As an EVP, you need 2 personal business partners, and that's pretty much it. That's all you need in order for you to be a EVP. You are paid $35 for every new business partner, except your first 2. On your first 2, you're going to earn $10 and $10, and then you're going to start, once you become an EVP, then you're going to get paid $35 for every new business partner that you bring into the business. And whenever they bring in their first 2 people, you're going to make $25. Also, if you have 10 people on your team, you'll be an EVP Gold. 80 people will make you a platinum, 400 people will make you an infinity. What you'll learn in my econ is that we do not have any group sales qualifications, which is powerful, but we do have a max leg count. So if you want to be an EVP Gold, you can only count 5 from each leg. So each person you bring into the business can contribute up to 5 people to count toward the 10. And I'm going to show you what I mean in just a minute. So if you're an EVP Gold, every time you bring somebody into the business, you're going to make $35. Every time somebody on your team brings somebody into the business, you're going to make $7.50. When residuals kick in, you'll make $3 a month off of everyone that's in your organization at the gold level. If you are a platinum, again, you're going to make $35 from your personals. You're going to make $12.50 for every person that comes into your organization, and then you're going to be making $5 a month in residuals. If you are an infinity, you got 400 people in your organization, and you're making $15 for every person that comes into your organization, regardless of who sponsored them, and you're going to get $7 a month in residuals. If you like myself with the CEO Infinity, you got 1,000 people, you make $15 for every person that comes into your organization, regardless of who sponsored them, and you make $8 a month in residual. Okay. All right, so what I want to do is I want to show you how the qualification process works so that you don't get confused. Okay, so let's say you're already EVP Gold, an EVP, and you're trying to become an EVP Gold. So if you're trying to be an EVP Gold, let's say you sponsor your first 2 people. The first 2 people that you sponsor actually pull up to your uplines base shop. And so those first 2 people is going to be in your uplines base shop, and you're going to earn a 25% check match on their base shop. And I'm going to explain that in a little bit. On my team, I have a system that's called 2 and 5. So I teach you to go out and sponsor 2 people, become an EVP, so that you can start earning your $35 payouts, and then go out and sponsor 5 more people. So let's say you're doing my 2 and 5, and again, you're trying to be gold. So your first 2 people move up. They're in your uplines base shop. Again, you get a 25% match on whatever they do. Now you're an EVP. Now you're going to go out and sponsor 5 people. Now what these 5 people do is going to help you qualify for gold. What your first 2 do as far as their team size does not is not in the calculation for your qualification. All you are is paid off for those 2. You're going to earn money from your first 2 people, but the numbers, meaning the number of people in the organization, do not count towards your qualifications. So let's say you go and sponsor 5 people. So this first person sponsored 2 people. Remember, the rule is you need 10 people in your organization, but you can't count no more than 5 from each person that you personally brought into the business. So you personally brought 5 people in. This person brought in 2 people. So the whole 2 count towards your qualifications. This person, they haven't brought anybody in, so you're just counting them. The third person came in, they sponsored 1 person, so that 1 person count. The 4th person came in, but she sponsored 10 people. She moving and shaking. Well, you can only count 5 out of her 10 toward your qualifications. Now keep in mind, this is for qualification purposes, but you make money off of everybody. So you still paid off the 10, but the 10 body counts do not count for your qualifications. Your 5th person that came in sponsored 3 people, so they 3 people count. So let's add that up. We got a total of 16 people came into your organization. 5 out the 16 did not count. And so from your team, which is considered your super team, you got 11 people, and then you actually sponsored those 5 people. So 11 plus 5 is 16. So you got 16 people. You are balanced. Your super team hit the requirements of 11 because you only needed 10, and now you are an EVP Gold. So the only thing that you have to remember is the limits per leg. Each person that you sponsor is a leg, okay? He's a leg, she's a leg, he's a leg, she's a leg, she's a leg. So each leg can give you no more than 5 if you're trying to qualify for EVP Gold. Okay, now let's talk about my 2 and 5 system. This is the system that I used in order for me to hit the infinity in 6 months. There are a lot of people that can come out and they can be super recruiters. They recruit 10 people, 100 people, 200 people. But for most people, that's not the case. And so what I did is I calculated what is the least amount of work I can do for me to max out the entire compensation plan. And I'm showing it to you. And again, it's called the power of 2 and 5. So it's really quite simple. Do you know 7 people with a job? If everybody on this webinar knows 7 people with a job, you can do this business, and I can show you how to duplicate and max out this compensation plan. So this is what it looks like in my econ when you do the 2 and 5. This document and this internet. Okay. I'm trying to pull this up here. All right. So this is what it looks like. Step 1 is you're going to sponsor 2 people. So you sponsor your first 2 people, you're going to get $10 and $10. And you're going to earn a 25% check match of their base shop. Now, once you sponsor your first 2 people, you're going to get a pay raise. You're going to be considered an EVP. So instead of getting $10 off of each new business partner, you're now going to get a raise and you're going to get $35. And so my system is simple. You sponsor 2, then you go sponsor 5 more people. So you're going to get 35, 35, 35, 35, 35 because you brought in 5 more people. So here's what it looks like. We're no longer going to be discussing the first 2 on this slide. So let's talk about those 5 people that you brought into the business. When you sponsor your 5 business partners after your first 2, those 5 people are going to go into your base shop. So here's what I want you to know. The only people who is in your base shop is people that you personally sponsored, and their first 2 people will be in your base shop. Once anyone that you personally sponsor become an EVP, them and their entire team after is going to fall in your generation. So people in your organization is only going to fall in 2 places. They're either going to be in your base shop or they're going to be in your generation. So let's talk about this base shop. Your 5 people that you brought into the business, because they are your personals, those 5 people are now in your base shop. So what are you going to do with these 5 people? You're going to teach them the system. You need to get 2, and then you need to get 5. So guess what? When each one of your new business partners get 2, they're going to become an EVP, and they're going to move. They're going to move to your generation, but they're going to leave behind 2 people because everybody's first 2 rolled up. So when you start building your team, every team member's first 2 rolls up to you. Okay? So when they roll up to you, they're going to get $10 and $10, and you're going to get 25 and 25. When your second person get her 2, because she's trying to hit EVP, she's going to leave behind 2. You're going to get 25, 25. So when the 5 people become EVPs, you're getting 25 times 10. That's your base shop. But guess what? These 10 new people that's sitting in your base shop, you're going to build a relationship with them because guess what? What do you want them to do? Duplicate the system. They need to get 2 so that they can become an EVP. So guess what these 10 people are going to do? They're going to go and get their 2. And they're going to leave behind their 2, and they're going to go into your generation. And what happens is your base shop has a 2-for-1 compound effect. So each person that you put into your base shop has to leave behind 2. This is the gold mine. This is the gold mine. Now, once these 5 people become EVP, they move over here to your generation. So all your EVPs, and when they sponsor their next 5, it's going to fall in your generation. And now they got their own base shops, and they're making money off their own base shops. And you're just repeating the process. So step 1, sponsor 2, become an EVP, sponsor 5 more. If you can keep up with this concept, you can make so much money in my econ. 2 and 5. Your 5 is going to go into your base shop until they become an EVP. When they become an EVP, they're going to move to your generation. And once they're in their generation, anyone that they bring in the business, depending on your rank in the company, you're going to get anywhere from $2 to $15 per person, $1 to $8 a month in residuals. There are no demotions. Everybody counts. So whether it's somebody who joined my econ and they just want to do the wealth strategies, They still count towards your numbers, but even people who want to do the wealth strategies, they still know 2 people who could benefit from the business just so that they can become an EVP. It's really a non-brainer. Okay. Now let's talk about those first 2 people that rolled up into your uplines base shop, because sometimes people get caught up in that. They be like, oh, I lost my 2 people. You didn't lose anything. You didn't lose anything. They're in your uplines base shop. Remember, you get a 25% check match. All right. So this is what it looks like. When your first 2 people is sitting up in your uplines base shop, what are you going to do with the first 2 people you brought into the business? You're going to teach them this system. You're not going to leave them, or you're not going to train them, because they qualify as a 25% check match. So you want to make sure that those people are doing the 2 and 5, because guess what? When they do day 2, they're going to, once they do day 2 and they become an EVP, when they sponsor their next 2 people, they're building their base shops. So look at this. So now the base shops is $50. These 2 become EVPs. They're going to leave behind 2 each. So now that's 4. The 4 are going to become EVPs. They're going to leave behind 2. Now you got 8 new people in their base shop. The 8 going to go and get 2. Now it's 16 new people added to the base shop. And as people continue to duplicate the system, look at the money that is sitting in their base shops. You get a 25% check match. So you have the potential to make like $124,000 off of your first 2 people. But so many people forget about their first 2 people, or they don't work with the first 2 people. That's your money. Guess what? What if your first 2 people is heavy hitters? What if I was an Infinity and I was one of your 1 or 2? You'll be making money off my entire base shop, and that's 25%. So there's money there. So you want to make sure that your first 2 are people who are moving and shaking, so that they're building a business, building a base shop. And because they're building a base shop, guess what? You are making money. Let's look at what happened when you sponsor your 5. So when you sponsor your 5, now you got 5 base shops of your own. So your first 2 rolled up, but now you got your own 5 in the base shop. What are you going to do? You're going to teach them to go and get 2 and become EVP. So when each person go get their 2 again, now they bring in 4. The 4 people, you going to do what? Tell them to get 2. Now it's 8. The 8 people going to do what? Go get 2. Now you got 16 new people you working with. With them 16 new people, what you going to do? Tell them to get 2. Now you got 32 people. Are you listening? 32 people. Go out and get 2. Now you got 64 people. So you don't have to go out and sponsor a whole bunch of people. You just work with what you have. Work within your base shop. So every last one of these base shops have the potential to make you a lot of money, right? So you're getting $25 for every person that's in each person's that's in your base shop. Guess what? $1 million business. We just talking base shop. Everybody getting 2. Everybody getting 2. So for the people who get in this business and don't work the business, you see how much money you leaving on the table? It just doesn't make sense. But this is the power of just becoming an EVP. You could be a millionaire. It could definitely happen. Okay. Now you know what happens with the first 2. The 2 you gave up, and when you do the 5. All right. Now remember, we also have products that's on our websites. So somebody could sell some coffee. Well, guess what? Everybody, your 5 personals that's sitting in your base shop, everybody that's sitting in the base shop, if they ordered a box of coffee, which is $2 in CV, you get paid anywhere from 25% to 85% off of everything in your base shop. So if everybody just ordered 1 box of coffee, not ordered, but sold a box of coffee on their website, you can make anywhere from $46,000 to $115,000 just retailing products on your MyEcon website. Now, let's talk about the next way of pay. So I just told you how to make that upfront money. So when you look at the internet marketers and you see how those internet marketers got 10,000, they did 30,000 in a month, they doing 600, 6,000, 5,000 in a week. That's their base shop. Because in order for your residuals don't kick in until your 5th month in the business. So all those big checks is from everybody doing the power of 2 becoming EVPs. focusing on everybody becoming EVPs. That's how they're creating the checks. So if you would just follow the system, it would happen for you too. In 5 months, your monthly residuals kick in. So that's why I tell you, take the first 5 months of this business and build your team as huge as possible. So when that 5th month kicks in, you're going to get some nice money. So this is the residual. Remember how I said everybody that you sponsor and everybody who's not an EVP, they're in your base shop? Well, everybody who becomes an EVP and their entire teams fall in your generation. This your generation money. This your monthly residual income. So again, if you at EVP, you getting $5 a month, you know, that's not a lot, okay? If you are a gold, you making $80 a month. Again, that is not a lot, but that could pay a cell phone bill. That's $960 in a year. That can go into your investment account. If you are a platinum, you making $455 a month. That may not seem like a lot, but that's $5,000. That can definitely pay down a car note or a credit card bill or something like that. Where I want everybody to do is have the goal to get to infinity, because infinity is where the money is. Okay, so at the infinity level, you see that 625 people in your organization. How do you get that? By teaching 2 and 5. If everybody on this webinar, everybody on your team, everybody in the organization just do 2 and 5. Not do what you want to do, but do 2 and 5. Everybody will make money and everybody will be successful in this business. But when people come in this business and tell you what they're not going to do, they're actually leaving money on the table. Because the only thing I got to say to somebody who don't want to build a business is, you don't want no more money? Like, you're really comfortable with what you're getting at your job and you don't own that job and you can lose it at any time and you don't want more? I don't know. But if you have Infinity, Infinity's average anywhere from $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 a month. At that point, you can go ahead and put in your 2 weeks notice, or you ain't even got to give them a 2 weeks notice. You just quit. All right. This is the fire your boss money. You're making over 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, $100,000 a month. Okay. At the CEO level, you need 1,000 people in your organization. So basically at the CEO level, you're making about anywhere from 6,000 to 8,000, 7,000 a month. You're really making 8,000 plus a month. All right. But let's say you at this level, you got over 3,000 people in your organization. You're going to make $78,000 just in upfront money. That's from people, them 35 and 25. So those internet marketers, those big checks is the 35 and the 25. They haven't got to this yet because they haven't been in the business 5 months. Can you imagine what's going to happen in 5 months when those residuals kick in? Their checks is going to be insane because they're taking all this time and they're building it massive. And so at this level, you're making $342,000 a year. That's Dr. Lawyer money. And you don't even have to go to school. You're just building your business. And then, of course, if you have 15,000 people in your organization, you're making $153,000 a month. That's $1.8 million. Guess what? You a millionaire. We have millionaires in my econ. All from a $34.95 a month business. All this is created from that. And all we do is show people how to manage their money, get out of debt, and how to invest. This is as simple as it gets. So I don't understand why people are not promoting their business, not telling people about their business. But if you know better, you do better. So everybody on this webinar, you need to be getting your 2 and then getting your 5. Get your 2 and get your 5. On the team website, you're going to see this chart. This is the chart. I want everybody to print it out. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to track it. So you right here, your first 2 people, you're going to put their name in their right category. Okay. And then the next 5 people, you're going to put them in the bubbles. I have to update this because this says $65 and it's really $35 and $25. So I will update that and put that on the website so you have the accurate information. So you're going to put your 5 people names in the square. When they get their first 2, when each one of the 5 get their first 2, you an EVP gold. When each of the 5 go and get their 5 and they fill out this sheet, okay? If 3 of the 5 actually fill out this sheet, you are a platinum. And I believe if you do this sheet, maybe if everybody follow this system like 2 or 3 times, you'll be at the infinity level. Okay, and again, this is just everybody working the power of 2 and 5. So 7 people can change your life, but you are going to have to open your mouth. Okay. This is how I got to the top of the company, from doing the simple 2 and 5. Let me see. I want to close this out here. And then we're getting close to the 10 o'clock spot. It was a lot to cover, you guys. Awful lot to cover. But I went over compensation. It's important to me that you do compensation. And then I'm finna give you guys a homework assignment. Let me go back to this website to make sure that it's, oh, here we go. Here we go, here we go. The internet is not being nice to me right now. Okay, the last area, and I hope you all can see my screen, under personal finance. Under personal finance, everyone is to watch the personal finance webinar. Okay, so everybody's going to watch the personal finance webinar. This is going to show you how to start managing your money. So here is a homework assignment. You're going to have to download the monthly budget. Uh-oh, I don't know what happened to the screen here. Wait a minute. I don't know what happened here. Let me go back. Under personal finance, again, you need to watch the webinar. Your homework assignment is I need you to download and fill out the monthly budget as well as the debt elimination workshop. And what you're going to do is I want you to, once you fill that out, I want you to reach up to your upline so that they can do your private financial strategy session, because it's important to me that you are eliminating your debt. So the monthly budget is basically going to require you to pull your bank statement, and you're going to put all the things you spend money on using your bank statement, and it's going to tell you your spending habits, because it's time for you to get up close and personal with your money. People need to manage their money. So we're going to look at your budget. We're going to look at your spending habits. We're going to look at areas where you can cut so you can increase your cash flow. And then after you do that, you're going to do your debt elimination worksheet. And again, you're going to give both of these documents to your upline, and you're going to schedule your one-on-one financial analysis. Just very quickly, I wanted to try to open up this debt worksheet. Because I want you to see just how powerful this is. I'm trying to reshare my screen. This internet has been just out of control. Just 1 second here. All right. It needs to let me be great. It don't want me to be great. Okay. So what you're going to be doing in the debt burner is you're going to get all your bills together, and you're going to be putting your bills into this worksheet. So you're going to put your creditor information in here. You're going to put the balance that you owe. You're also going to be putting the interest rate. If you know the interest rates on your credit cards and things like that, you're going to put that in there, and you're going to put your minimum payment. All right. So just to use this as an example, at the bottom, this is an example of $39,000 in debt. They're paying $525 a month to cover car notes, student loans, things like that. Okay. So what you're going to do is we're going to put $526 because that's what they pay a month. And so this is a calculation that is set up for you. Now, We give you multiple different debt elimination strategies, and it is actually in this workbook, this Excel spreadsheet. Many people know Dave Ramsey's snowball effect. So you can pick the snowball effect as a way for you to pay off your debt. When you go through the personal finance webinar, I go through all the different strategies that you're going to use to pay off your debt. So in this example, I'm just going to say the cash flow approach. You will learn this. So they're paying $526 a month right now for their debt. Now, once they income shift their W-4, let's say they getting an extra $300 back in their paychecks. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that $300 and we're going to put it on top of this 526, because you got to pay the 526 anyway. So now it's 826 that they're going to have available every month to go all against their debt. You know what? Let me go back out, because I want to make sure that you see this. Okay, look at this right here. All right. This right here has her payoff date, July of 2026 is when she would be debt free. So basically, if she keep doing what she doing and just pay the minimum balance of that 526 on all her, with her debts for right now, don't income shift, she's not in my econ, by July 2026, she'll be debt free. But she adjusts her W-4, and now that she adjusted her W-4, she getting an extra $300. So now that's $526 that she can burn up debt. Look at this. Now she's going to be debt free April 2023. We just knocked off 4 years just from using the power of income shifting. We knocked off 4 years from her debt. But let's say she started to build her My Econ business and she's making $600 a month in My Econ. So now she got $1,426 in cash flow to burn up her debt. Look at this. Now she debt free March 2021. We knocked another 2 years off. Okay. Now let's say you super bad. You in My Econ, you got another $400 coming in. Now you making $1,000. Okay. You making $1,000 a month in My Econ. So now that's $1,826. We knocked another year off. So now she's going to be debt free August 2020. This is what I want everybody to do. And what this worksheet is going to do is going to tell you what bill, it already lines up what bill you're going to focus your income shift money on first. So don't be like those people that take money and you put a little bit of here, you pay a little bit more on there. No, you have to have a focused effort. So we're going to pay off this creditor first. So that $300 that she getting extra in her paycheck, she going to put it on top of the note of this creditor here. And it's telling her that this creditor going to be paid off in her first month. Now that that creditor is paid off, she's going to go to the second debt. She's going to take the $300 plus what she was paying Ashley and put that on top of Capital One. Capital One going to be paid off in 3 months, you guys. And then next, paying off student loans and things like that. So this is powerful. Nobody in My Econ is doing this but our team. But you need to know what your debt-free number. And once you know what your debt-free date is, you're going to be able to post that online and start living the My Econ life. And every time you're making money, you're going to be using that money to pay off debt, and you're going to use that money to invest. All right. Oh, I got all these forms open. We are almost done. We're almost done. Uh-oh. Let me see. Okay. All right. Last thing. All right. So you already know what your homework assignment is. You need to do the budget. You need to do the debt worksheet. After you do it, contact your upline, schedule your financial session. For those of you who have a 401k, I have a 401 calculator, so you can analyze whether or not your 401k is going to grow at a rate it needs to grow in order for you to hit your retirement numbers. If not, you will know what you need to do. If you are investing, there's an investment calculator, so you will know when you pick certain ETFs, certain type of mutual funds, you will know how your money is multiplying. If you have a car note, this is a calculator, so you'll know how to pay that car note off faster. There's my credit repair boot camp that you can have access to. So that is there. I encourage you to watch that boot camp. It takes you step by step on how to fix your credit. I've also included a credit tracker, so you can track when you actually send out letters, so you'll know when to follow up, when to pull your credit report again, when to go to the next letter. I have additional letters that you can use. My Econ gives you the dispute letters that you can send to the credit bureaus. I also give you dispute letters that you can send directly to collection agencies. So I call that phase 1 first. There's letters in here. Even if you want to sue them for not taking something off that they should sue, there's a letter in here if you get something removed off your credit file and it is re-put on your credit report, and if they did not notify you within 5 days of them putting it back on your credit file, you can send this letter out. They will have to remove it. If you've written any bad checks, there's a letter here for you to get that check history cleaned up. And removing medical bills, it's a lot of different bills that's here. And again, once you start going through the process, there is a client contract. So if somebody ever wanted you to fix their credit, there's a contract that they can sign. It's kind of a pay as you go, and it's just going to protect you. So there's a number of different training videos, budgeting videos that is available to you. Under the investing link, you can start, again, looking at videos for those people who are interested, who want to learn how to start investing in the stock market. There's tons of videos here for you, and books that's available to you. Under marketing, for those of you who are building their businesses and you're trying to build your business online, I have the Facebook training here, so you'll know how to build your friends list really, really fast on Facebook with targeted prospects. Those videos is in here. If you want to know how to shoot videos and turn your phone into a teleprompter where you could put your script into the app, hit record, and the words will show up on your screen. That way you can record, you don't have to remember what you got to say, and you can upload those videos to Facebook and YouTube. We have a marketing system called ISP, so you can actually watch that video as well. And you know, for those people who are using ISP, I have added to this group 2 different email autoresponder messages that you can add to that system, and it's going to make sense once you watch the video. For those people who got ISP, we have the ability to send text message blasts to our leads. I have put in here some text autoresponders that you can use. Okay, so I'm always giving you different things that you can use to book your, to build your business. We also have under social media posts, I've put some posts out here that you can pretty much just copy and paste and start adding different content on your Facebook page. And I always recommend that you go to my page and just copy and paste until you get to a point where you can start coming up with your own material. Be a copycat, copy the right cat. That is myself. So there is information here that you can use, that you can start promoting your business. So just make sure you go through all the training that's available to you. As you can see, it's a lot of stuff. You know, my Econ is almost like it's like going back to school. So you're gonna have take some time and learn what you don't know, and start introducing people to your business all at the same time. And the final thing that I am going to show you, because we're gonna end this really quick, is when I first got into the business, I did build my business locally, you know, so I did start with some family and friends. I actually started with like 5 key people. And from those 5 key people, I was able to get into my local market and pretty much wrap it up. Sometimes when people get into business, they want to go straight to the internet, and they leave so much money on the table because their local area is wide open. So I always want you to reach out to some people in your local area first, and then just start posting on social media. So when you watch the videos will tell you what you need to be posting, when you need to be posting, how to build content, how to build your list. I'm also going to be adding some videos on Instagram and some other advanced Facebook techniques that you can use to build your business. So this last thing that I want to introduce to you, I want to share my phone once again. Just like you download the cash flow manager so that you can track your expenses. You also want to make sure that you download the MyEcon app. And I just want to share this one last feature in your MyEcon app so that you know that it's there and that, you know, you can actually use it. I'm trying to make my phone. Come on now. Okay. Whew, and then we gonna be done. I did not want this to be 2 hours, but it is. I hope y'all got some good information. When you go to the not the MyEcon. Oh, one more thing. In your MyEcon office, you got a tool that's called the Cash Flow Strategist. The Cash Flow Strategist is your retirement planner. And actually, once you do your budget and you do your debt elimination worksheet, you can go to the Cash Flow Strategist and you can basically create your retirement plan. And basically, you're telling them when you retire how much money you want to have coming in. So in this case, it's saying $7,000 a month. It's going to ask you different questions. It's going to ask you to put in your income shift money. It's going to have you put in your debt from your debt worksheet. And then what it's going to do is it's going to calculate your investments as it grows. And it's going to tell you when you're going to be debt free. So in this case, debt free 2021. It also is going to tell me when I hit my amount of making $7,000 a month. They say in 2024. And then it even tells me when I'm going to hit millionaire status, which is in 2035. And so it's a powerful tool. So you can you're going to learn more about that as well. Now, this last thing that I want to show you is in the MyEcon app, the MyEcon business app. When you want to introduce your business to your family and friends, one of the quickest way to do it is through text messaging. So what MyEcon has put together is a way for you to contact the people in your phone and introduce them to the business. So right here, when you click on contacts, it's going to pull up your phone. Okay. And all you have to do is you could just pick anybody. Okay. You can pick anybody that you want to send a message to. So in this case, I'm going to pick this Aljon Reed. When I click Aljon Reed, I'm going to click send him a text message. As you can see, MyEcon already has some scripts that is already set up that you can actually use to introduce people to your business. So for example, you want to talk about the power of income shifting, you know, where people can adjust their W-4. All I have to do is click step number 1. When I click step number 1, it composes this right here in the message, and all I have to do is click send. When I click send, this text is going to go to the contact in my phone. And I can have as many contacts as I want to send a message to. I can select as many contacts as I want, and it's going to say, hey, quick question for you. Have you ever heard of income shifting? Okay, the person going to come back, and what they're going to say? They're going to say, probably not. You can go to step 2. At step 2, it explains what income shifting is. All right. Or you can actually type in your own message, you know. So we do a qualifier where we ask the person, have you heard of income shifting? And if they say, no, I haven't heard of it, then we say, do you have a job? Do you pay taxes? Could you use an extra $200 to $800 a month? And if they say yes, then we send them to some information and we send them to a video. But this is just a way for you to reach out to your warm market directly through your phone, through your MyEcon app. And the website that they have in this is actually the website that is on your personal MyEcon website. I do not use that video. I rather use videos from our webinars or income shifting videos, different things that you can use. And you will learn how to do that when you start watching the advertising and internet marketing trading videos. So I just wanted to share with you that one tool that you can actually take advantage of, because sometimes people be like, I don't know who I can talk to. Well, guess what? It's people sitting with 200, 300, 400 contacts in their phone. So you got plenty of people to talk to. All right. So I think I've hit the major points, and we're going to wrap up this training. If there's any questions, you can unmute your line and you can ask the question. And if it ain't no questions, y'all know I'm about to be gone. And I did record this, so you can always go back and you can watch this training. Once I put it on YouTube, I'm going to upload it in a group. That way, I know you all had invited more team members who did not show up. You can send them the link and tell them to do training. So from this point on, anytime you bring somebody into the business, put them in the Lifestyle Changers, give them access to this, our Lifestyle Changers training website, and this orientation video is going to be under the new consultant. And they just start training and they go from there. Okay? Well, I thank you all for coming and hanging out with me for 2 hours. Y'all super bad. See, if you sit with somebody for 2 hours, you got to make some money. Thank you, Q. You got to make some money. Y'all all going to be to the top because y'all super serious about y'all business because you stayed with me for 2 hours. So all I need you to do is, who is this? Denise, are you trying to unmute yourself? Let's see. You're unmuted, Denise. Can you hear me?
Yeah, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. This was a wonderful, wonderful presentation. I really appreciate all the information that you shared. But I have a question from the presentation last night from Ivy, real quick.
Yeah.
He mentioned that we can give the link to the cash mall to people and earn commission, if you remember.
Yeah.
And if so, I wonder what link he's referring to.
Oh, he's talking about when you go to your cash flow, when you go to your cash flow mall, there is a little link where you can invite people to the mall. And when you invite people to that, you can send an invitation for them to have access to a free mall. So when you go to it, you should see it somewhere on that website where you can invite people.
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
Okay, Vera, I don't know how to find you, Vera. What is oh, here we go. All right, I unmuted you, Vera.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
okay.
I can.
Awesome. I tell you, I'm so excited about this business. I'm just excited. That's all I can say. But I have a question, and my question is this: a person that had received Social Security, can they attach the business to that Social Security check each month, like a senior retired?
Is it SSI? Because some people who are just getting a Social Security check, they can still be in MyEcon. There is a income limit. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I do have it in some notes where they actually can still be in the business. But some people who are on disability, not because they old, they have to pay attention to their income. And so the thing is, they do look at your income, but then they look at your tax write-off. So for some people who got losses, you really don't have any income to claim, even though you might have made money. So it just depends. But what I can do is I can give you that that income threshold. But a person that is on Social Security, they can get they can be in MyEcon. And there's some people who with Social Security where they actually do take some taxes out their things. I've seen some people where they can adjust that. So I'll give you that number tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I do have it. But yeah, they can be in the business.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you all. You have a productive weekend. Go out and get your 7 people. If you ain't got your 7 people yet, go on and get them 7 people with a job. They need MyEcon. All right. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all at the bank. Good night. Good night. Good night. If it let me